Mr. President, the announcement this morning that air operations in major cities in this country on the East Coast and other places could be delayed or interrupted comes as no surprise. This last week, I met with air traffic controllers in St. Louis and in Aurora, Illinois. We have over 600 air traffic controllers in northern Illinois because of O'Hare and Midway and so many other important airports in that region. And of course in St. Louis with Lambert Airfield and others, they have quite extensive air operations. They explained to me what's going on with air traffic controllers. It should have worried us before the shutdown. It should frighten us at this moment. Currently, air traffic controllers work 10-hour shifts. It's a stressful job, an important, stressful job. There's hardly any person more on the front line of public safety than an air traffic controller. And they are expected to concentrate exclusively for 10 straight hours on each shift. Because of a shortage in air traffic controllers, they now are working 6 days a week. If you can only imagine for a moment what it is like, if you've been to an air traffic control tower, you know what it's like, at least from an outside observer's point of view. There they are with a screen full of dots, and each one of them an airplane. And each airplane tens, maybe even hundreds of lives. And they are trying to make certain that nothing terrible occurs. Imagine the added burden that they face now in the 35th day of this government shutdown. As of today, they will have missed 2 pay periods. Their last paycheck came last year. And I listened to these air traffic controllers explain what it meant to them. For some of them, it's gotten down to the basics. In the St. Louis area, one of the air traffic controllers has to drive in a long distance each day. They didn't have the cash for gasoline. He sold his plasma in order to fill the tank to go to work. At another air traffic control meeting in Aurora, one of the controllers came to me and said that one of his colleagues who had been working for some time came to him and said that he only had 5 days left, that he could continue doing this, working for nothing. Then he would have to go look for other jobs and possibly jeopardize his future in air traffic control. The stories came to me one after another. A young family where a little child in the family is suffering from medical illnesses of serious nature. Luckily, they still have health insurance when they're not being paid, but when it comes to the out-of-pocket and co-payments, they don't have the money for it. Those are the realities that these men and women face. They're the realities that have to be on their mind every waking moment. We pray as passengers in these aircraft that the only thing on their mind is their job. But instead, for many of these people, it's just basically getting by, keeping your family together. A lady came up to me at the airport at O'Hare and told me that she and a lot of friends run a food pantry in Oak Park, which is on west of the city of Chicago. And she said to me, we've got problems. The federal employees who are coming around now are in desperate need of help, and we're running out of supplies at our food pantries. Has it come to that in America, where we have to rely on food pantries and charity for men and women who are performing such a vital function as air traffic control? That's the reality of the situation. Yesterday, we had 2 votes on the floor of the Senate. I know that every federal employee and their families were tuned in the hopes that this shutdown would end yesterday, that we would muster the courage and political will to come together on a bipartisan basis. We didn't. We fell short of the 60 votes needed on both of the measures that were called. There is a ray of hope, but only a small one. The conversations at the highest level continue last night and even into today. My only hope is that the president will decide that this shutdown has to come to an end. He alone can make that decision and make it work. He alone stood at the beginning and said he was proud to claim that he was the author of this shutdown. I don't see how anyone can be proud of what has happened in this country. It is time to put it behind us. It is time to move forward with serious negotiations about border security and other issues, but not at the expense of 800,000 federal employees.